Hi, welcome to the Connecting Disciples TV studio. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you've come from and what you do?
My name's Irene Bourne. I come from the Romsey Circuit, which is in the Southampton district, and I'm a pastoral worker.
Perfect. And you've just been to a session on prayer with Fiona.
Yes.
What did you get out of the session? What have you learned? What are you taking away?
I was amazed at first, the introduction, because on the table there were different things from Fiona's house, and learning to use those things around our own houses that you can pray. So we each took an item from the table which appealed to us and spoke briefly about it. That was good. And the fact that using the scriptures to pray and the way Fiona read the scripture to us. Holy reading, I think she said it was,
okay.
Where it's read very slowly. So you take the scripture in and you reflect on the scripture, using that scripture for a way of prayer.
It's great.
So I found that really helpful.
Do you feel like, you obviously work with a number of churches, what do you feel like people's attitudes to prayer is? Do you think a lot of people struggle with it? Do you think it's positive? What's your experience in Romsey and Southampton?
Romsey Church itself, that's the largest church. We have a ministry of praying for the streets, and a card is delivered every week to different houses, and we've had a limited response to that. But now we've got the reputation as, oh, you're the church that prays. So we're quite pleased about that. It's been going for quite a few years now. It was an initiative. It takes a lot of organisation. But as new estates come on stream, we take those in as well.
Has that impacted the prayer life of the church, do you
Yes,
think?
it has.
Yeah.
Because during our prayers of intercession every week, those streets are mentioned. And if someone asks us for prayer, then we mention those people within that time of prayer of intercession.
That's really exciting.
So that's
really exciting.
Good, yes.
So, in your experience, what does prayer mean to you personally? What works for you as a person in your personal prayer life? How do you experience God in that?
Well, when I went to Fiona's workshop, I mean, we all said what our prayer life was. And mine is one thing, because sometimes I don't feel I put enough time aside for prayer. And one of the ways, I picked up a key actually, and that was to remind me, there's a very good book, I can't remember who it's by, but it's called A Room of Prayer. It's an old book, but years ago I used it when I was more disciplined, I think. And you imagine that you're going to different rooms of prayer.
Great.
And because that's a discipline, you don't miss out bits of prayer, if you like. I worry that sometimes we go to God with our shopping lists.
Yeah.
And we forget that we need to bless God as well and give thanksgiving to God before we can even think about what we need or what we want from God. But the other thing that the workshop did, it made me to think about my prayer life in a more personal way, particularly with the question of Bartimaeus, when Jesus says to him, "What can I do for you?" And taking that very personally, because usually, I must admit, within my work, I'm thinking, how can I pray and what can I pray for other people who've asked me to pray?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Thank you so much for coming by, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for inviting me.